Hey folks, it's Rod with When by Doing. I am a very part-time eBay seller. I run an auction house online, primarily selling to local customers, but we do ship to places all over the United States. That business is bid more than number 2 when. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know that it's been a while. I haven't been putting out much content, but things are starting to, let's just say, normalize. Either that or, again, I'm just getting used to what I'm doing. Getting in the groove of things. Many of you know that I used to work a full-time job, do eBay. We run an ice cream truck business. I have quit my full-time job. It is almost 2 months since I cut the cord from corporate America. I tell you what, I am not making near what I was making in corporate America, but I will tell you that the peace of mind was it's quite an improvement. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking back at the back. I've got a furniture blanket back there that I thought would just ride, but I'm hoping that it does. It's starting to blow a little bit. I think I'm gonna pull over here in just a minute and fold it up and put it in the cab. I think that would probably be the smartest thing to do. I don't want to surprise the guys behind me by having that thing blow out of the truck. So let me pull over and do that real quick. Probably shouldn't do it in front of these people's house. Let me pull it here. Give me just a second. We almost had a squished Rod at When by Doing. Those cars were not moving over very far, and this fat man could have lost a few pounds in there. Okay. And we're back on the road. I feel much safer now. Don't have to worry about my blankets blowing out and landing on the front windshield of somebody's car and causing a big accident. Don't want that to happen. So, you know, it's a whole new beast running an auction house. You source completely different. And yes, I do source for the auction house. And that's primarily to fill the catalog. I've graduated some from just buying table ends. I did that a lot. If you guys don't know what table ends, those are usually tables at the auction that go for dirt cheap. The way our auctions work, you bid on a table and you get anything. When you get to a certain price, the winning bidder gets an item off that table for that price. And the table come up again for auction. They usually bounce between a couple of tables, and that table come up again. So the first time there might be something worth $100 on there that you say, I want this item for $100. So I'll go up to that. So you bid to your $100 or whoever the highest bidder is. Then they go up and get that item. Well, the next item may not be another item up there worth even close to that. So the next one might only go up to $50. Anyway, they go down till it gets down to a certain price, and then they just pile the table together, and that's what I call table ends. It's when all the things that everybody else wanted has sold, and then they either do a times the money, which if you are buying times the money, basically, let's say there were 10 collector knives that were left, and they'll say times the money, and they'll usually go, you know, start low, and then go up from there. So, or they may start mid-range and then go. But anyway, you're paying, let's say it goes up for $3 and there's 30 knives sitting there. You're paying 3 times 30 knives. So that would be a $90 bid for everything that's on the table. The other one is where they just auction what's left and say, you know, start it at a certain price. It goes down, then back up, depending on how many people are competing for that bid. I used to buy a lot of table ends. I've stepped up the game and I'm willing to pay more for certain items if I know that, you know, and that's part of growth as a auctioneer. If you want to call that, I will be back. I got a call. That was my lovely wife, Kathleen. She has really been very supportive with this endeavor. She's done tons of work. She saved my butt multiple times, helping me get the auctions launched. She actually was the key to making it start out successfully and keeping it on track before I quit my job. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to the auction. Hopefully at the end of this video, when I get back in the car, maybe I'll do a little bit of a haul. I probably won't be able to go through everything because it just depends on how much I buy. I buy usually a ton of stuff. I usually fill up the bed of my truck every time I go to auction, whether it's antiques, collectibles, vintage items, toys. I dabble in it all. Last week it was a whole ton of automobilia, if that's the word I'm looking for. Just a lot of oil cans, old antifreeze cans, engine repair products. I had a Model T side tank. There's a whole lot of stuff. I had a wooden chest, like an old wooden chest, toy chest. That was full of modern day Star Wars stuff. I packed it full. Sometimes I think I buy chests and boxes just so I can haul the stuff that I got at auction in them. Tonight I do not have my canopy on, so that's either a good thing or a bad thing. If I buy a lot, I'll have even a little bit more space to put on in the truck. But anyway, hopefully I'll get a little bit footage of that at the end of the video. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, thank you, welcome, and we'll see you in a few. Okay folks, so this is going to be a while because I went out and spent. Told you I went to auction. Here's just a haul. It's going to probably be long. This is what auction buying looks like for me, so I'll try to get through in and out quick. Back there's my truck. In here is where I'm going to put it in my mess of a storage area, and hopefully we can get it all fit in. I'm not going to go through exactly what everything costs because that would take way too long. Just know I spent about $660. That included my meal and a couple beers while I was there. And let me make the trip back and forth really quick. Okay, so keep in mind that I pick up tables. I buy tables of stuff. So some of the stuff, like these gold-colored candlesticks, there's not much of a value for me in those. Some markets there may be, but for me, not so much. But those will get lotted up and put in our auction and hopefully bring a couple bucks to make it even, you know, come out even on it. This table, some of the things I was more interested in was these old lanterns. They typically do pretty well. And I like picking up this old enamelware. I do a lot of vintage and older stuff, so it's just basic enamelware. Dustpan, I mean, that'll probably be donated. What else was in here in this particular box? I started just boxing stuff up. This is Reefer Gowler, no moths. Kills moths, moth eggs, larvae. Attached special hanger here. I don't know. And this looks like an old copper, maybe a plant stand. And I'm not a huge fan of all glass, but you know, there's some Carnival glass in there. It's something I just broke. Let's go ahead and this is the hazards of buying lots of glass. Little dish that will just go. It was kind of cool. A little cobalt blue and cut glass. I don't do well on cut glass. Absolutely pure milk. This is kind of a cool bottle. It's got actually, I don't know if there's any age to it, but it actually has a little pour spout there. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Anyway, I'm spending too much time on one bowl. There's also a jar. Got a little camera. What is that? Some people get into these old vintage cameras just for, it is a AFGA Carrot. Never heard of that brand. But anyway, box number one. I'll try to hurry in between boxes. This is a pre-owned Oster toaster oven. And the difference between sourcing for me and just strictly eBay is I'm not looking to bring max price. My thing is get it in, put it on the shelves, and get it out. It will get more exciting, I promise. Little Perini, looks like it's new in box. Box damage. To the 10-piece condiment set. And of course I tipped this on its side, which I probably shouldn't have. This is some miscellaneous. I don't have a coin. This is a micro bank. Don't believe the impossible illusion bank. I got nickels over here because I bought an old. Let me see what this does. Oh, that is cool. I don't know if that's going to show. I don't know how I get my nickel back. Oh, there. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera. It's not. It's just going to show a reflection. Oh, that sucks. There's a little box in there. I don't know if it's right there. And when you drop this nickel in, yeah, it's not going to show it. It shows as like a micro nickel. It makes a nickel look a lot smaller. That is cool. My daughter will get a kick out of that. Anyway, I wasted some time there. This just has a bunch of little knickknacks, a Nerf gun, nothing major. What's this one do? Man. Oh, that actually came with money in it. What? And I don't know how to get it out. Oh. Let me get back in here. I might have made a millionaire here. What? This looks like it slides. I don't want to break it. It's just an illusion. It's got a box, a little box inside there. Sorry, it disappeared. I just put another nickel in there. Anyway, again, I'm sure my daughter will love that. This box didn't have much in it. There's some Christmas ornaments, some, I don't know. Probably the coolest thing in this box is this old leather quiver. It looks like deer fur in there, or maybe that's rabbit. Pretty light to be deer. Just a little Weiss hand painted in Brazil, little jewelry thing. A lot of that stuff will be lotted up into huge lots of miscellaneous, just a basic Nerf gun that doesn't seem to want to fire that arrow. Well, no. Anyway, oh, there we go. Oh, the Batmobile. Where's that from? It's a Hot Wheels. What? Oh, the cool things I'll probably do okay with for me. Got some throwing knives. Those typically do okay. This is a airplane. Oh, and I had just some harmonica, professional reed harmonica, no brand. And here's a little Hohner. Hoodoo Blues by Hohner. There's 3 Hohner harmonicas in here. Hoodoo Blues. There's 3 of them in a little case. Either they're different, there's something different about, oh, there's D, a C, and a G. Just to kind of give you an idea. That should do okay. You're probably like, when's he getting to the good stuff? Here's an old Coleman heater. It's a catalytic heater. I've never used one personally. These old cans like this, watering cans, those typically do. I have buyers for stuff like that. I have, this is not the best deer fur here, but I have, typically, you know, tie flyers will use these, crafters will use the leather, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's got holes in it. Like there's a hole here, and there's a few out on the outer edge, but it's in pretty good condition. I don't see any shedding there. That's so that does pretty well up in our area. Oh, nothing exciting here. I just dumped all the drawers, little jewelry box, but inside here I've also packed, and none of this is maybe how they were lotted up, but a little wannabe airsoft gun there. People always get into those. These actually shoot pretty powerful. I wouldn't want to get hit by one. I can remember how the, but anyway, just little bitty, they shoot these little plastic pellets. If you're not familiar with them, there's little magazines that go to them. Comes in a little case to them here. I've sold these before. They do okay at auction. There's an old oil can. I really get into a lot of this older stuff. Sleeping bag, camo sleeping bag, looks like lightweight. Quite a few baseball cards here. I gotta tell you a story. I've got more baseball cards coming. I actually dumped an entire box, probably thousands of cards on the ground as I was loading, which really sucked. There's some, oh look, WWF trading cards. There's football in here. Nice little collection. There's football picture cards from 1990, tops. I never go through any of these. I don't know if they've ever been gone through, but I typically break them up, try to break them up by sport. I'm not going to be able to on this other box, which I'll show you in a minute. Cattle ask me quite a bit, why'd you buy this? Why'd you buy that? Well, it's not that I buy some of this crazy stuff on purpose. Here's another little old jewelry box. It's got some age to it, I can tell, just because it's just because of the hardware. What do we got? I mean, stuff like this. Quail or pheasant. Oh, that's a raven. Oh, I should send that to John. These are bird hand towels. These are kind of cool, I guess. They are nursery rhymes. I'll have to see if I can put that back in. There's a Hickory Dickory Dock framed piece of art there. I'll put that up there. Oh, that's the back of that. Great, so we can fix that. There's a Humpty Dumpty. Title Humpty Dumpty on the wall, printed 1915. So it has a little story on the back. This is a genuine antique print, not a reproduction, and is backed by a no time limit money back guarantee for authenticity reasons. So that's kind of cool. It's actually, it looks like it's, someone wrote in there that it is a 1915 print of Humpty Dumpty, which probably means that the one that's so poorly, I wonder if it has the same type of inscription on the bag. It does. 1915 printed Hickory Dickory Dock. And since this one's already apart, I just want to see. Maybe I don't want to. I won't mess with that right now. But stuff like that I find cool. Oh, here's this one's pretty awesome. This doesn't have anything typed on the back, but it does look old. The Companion for Family, oh, April 2nd, 1925. There is an actual date on it. America's most famous dessert. Old King Cole was a merry old soul and also a wise old fellow who seldom ate without a plate of dainty, tasty Jell-O. So that's pretty cool. And it does actually have the date down at the bottom, 1924 by Jell-O Company, Inc. I get into all this old advertisement. So that was probably going to do a lot better than what I originally thought. Woodstock Music and Art presents an Aquarian exposition, White Lake, New York, 3 days. It's a little reproduction thing. And of course, stuff like this, you just go straight to donation. It's a big turkey platter. Otagiri. O-T-A-G-I-R-I. So yes, when you go through auction, what a lot of people don't realize, when I buy this stuff, a lot of this stuff, I do have to sort through it and pick the stuff that I'm going to go straight to donation and what I'm actually going to sell. So let me go get another box. Oh, lovely, lovely glassware. Now, what I've learned, at least in our local market, typically here locally, cut glass doesn't do well, lead crystal doesn't do well. Things that do well, Pyrex, colored, not clear, and the value is going to go up and down depending on pattern and rarity of that, colors and pattern. Fire King, Anchor Hocking, Corningware, particularly Corel. Corel does. I never realized there was a collector's market for Corel until I started the auction business. And uranium glass. And the more you deal with it, you'll see that you'll be able to recognize uranium glass pretty easily. The green, typically it's a green. That's what I come across most of the time. This is a lot of glass, and there's not really anything in here of particular to note, but this was part of a table that some of it I made because there's a lot of this. There's a lot of salt and pepper shakers that I got. So that's what quite a bit of this stuff. Maybe some of the it'll probably all get lotted up into a giant lot of salt and pepper shakers. But this is just miscellaneous glassware. Like I said, nothing really to note there. There's some older pieces that will do okay. I'll get back up and put your in the train here in a minute. I'll just pull out some of the pieces so you kind of take a look and see what I come across. I always look at the bottom, see if there's any Occupied Japan pieces. But here's some little, I don't know, they're little bears. Oh, let me get over here. There's a boy and a girl bear. There's some here with little dragons on them. Salt and pepper shakers. There's a matching set of these. These are pretty, probably old. They back up to one another. So I've got pieces like that. Those I'll just lot up, and that's the good thing about doing local auction is you just lot like things up and away they go. Got a lot of silver plate. Most common brands I come across is Rogers Brothers, but some of these I may do research, but you know, just little trinkets of silver. All that will get lotted up into one lot. I have, oh, this is kind of cool. I don't do well with Coke stuff, but I'll still lot it up and try it and see. A lot of Coke stuff, it ends up going straight to donation. There's little bitty miniature Coke bottles in there, so you know, like I said, it'll probably get run once, and then it doesn't get more glassware. This has some blue that's, you know, people find somewhat desirable. Again, stuff like this, not so much. I will probably run the tomato soup cups, little mugs there. But sometimes blue, cobalt blue in particular, does okay. These little honey jars, it looks like. I'll probably run those. But a lot of this glass is just going to go straight to donation, and just because I know it's not going to sell. It's so funny. I watch people buy, you know, spend $10 on a lot of, you know, a couple totes, but I think I might have given, I don't know, not very much. maybe that for, or I think it was actually just under it. But I got all these trains. They're nothing really fancy. These are Scientific Toys Limited. This is just like a little battery operated set, I believe. But I'll probably lot all these up. There's a tote full of trains and tracks in there. But for what I paid for the whole lot, the totes themselves were worth that. So in there was, I guess I could show you, you know, there's a few of these larger tracks or trains. There's a tanker in there, some buildings, some tracks, a little engine, Pennsylvania 9714, all the Scientific Toy stuff. I'll have to look at it and see how they actually run, or if it's just a push around the track type thing. But the thing about auction is it's a bundle game a lot, and if I can bundle enough stuff, get it at a decent enough price and bundle it, make a few bucks. This is primarily tracked for that same system. So I'm going through this stuff pretty quick just because I have a lot of stuff. Okay, so this, and like I said, when I'm loading stuff up, I'm just throwing stuff on the table. Just an old, this almost looks like a, someone will have to tell me what Alan does if it's, I don't think it's tool, I think it might have to do with hunting of some sort. Here's a little arrow quiver, nothing major there. It's all about the lot game. Oh, everybody needs some of those. I got a heated dog dish in here. Oh, this is kind of a unique. It's a smaller font. This is the font down here. For those of you who don't know oil lamps, you have the font down here, the chimney, and then the burner. Those are the three primary pieces to it. And you have your wick and stuff down there as well. This is a Lamplighter Farms. This is, I believe this is a period original chimney. And something just a note, if you're not sure, I mean, if you don't know this, if you look where the burner goes into the, or attaches to the font, look for, if it, you can tell how old, one thing that will tell you how old it is, turn of the century burners screwed into the inside of the font versus screwing over the outside of it. And there's this old Stanley thermos. All I can tell you is there are date codes on the bottom of this. This looks like a 93. Just Google how to date your Stanley thermoses, and you can learn quite a bit that way. Google is your friend. Okay, so you'll see me bring in a set of these chairs. I've got 4 of those. I'm not a huge furniture person. I don't sell a ton of it. This isn't anything spectacular. It's padded, it's wood, but the seat itself is like pressed wood, so definitely not anything of age. I got this. This has seen better days. It's everything seems to work on it okay. The screws that could probably be replaced. Just a basic paintball marker. It's a Spider Compact Semi-Auto Cal 68. Caution, not a toy. But I keep forgetting you're way up there. Got a Chilton manual. Yay! That's for Chevy GMC pickups. I'm a Ford guy, so it's not going to do me any good. I got a lot of these Generation X, some vinyl pops. I don't use anything overly spectacular here. There's Kevin from Home Alone, WW Roman Reigns. Let's see. Oh, here is Big E, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston. I don't even know. Is that WW something or other? Yeah, WWE. Who's this? Sergeant Slaughter. I remember him. WWE. Looks like a lot of these are WWE. Funko Pops. Who's this? Kurt Angle. Oh. I got. There's a tote of. There's a couple other Funkos in there as well as these Generation X X-Men figures, and they're what age are they? It looks like 95. There's Chamber. Implate. Anyway, there's one tote of those. Throw those over there. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, these I'm going to be doing a review on. It is as soon as I get them hooked up, there's some spotlights, LED spotlights. There's Z-Moon LED light bar. I am going to be hooking those up to my truck so that I have light back here when I'm using it. I figured that's a good good thing to. Cresto Gold. Look at that Montana plate. I'm gonna have to plug my phone here in a minute. It is guaranteed, no, warranted 22 karat gold. But just some more little miscellaneous stuff that I bought that really doesn't have a ton of value, but like I said, I sort through a lot of this stuff. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm plugging my phone in so that it doesn't die. And yeah, who has time to edit? I could edit a lot of this stuff out, but I just don't. Because I barely have time to put a video out now and again. So here we go. Looks like it's going on 30 minutes. I wonder how much this is actually going to do. Okay, there we go. So I'll try to tilt that down just a little bit so you can see more of my mess. No, it's not going to work because it's going to fall over. So this is kind of cool though. An old Hills Brothers coffee jar. And some of the glass is kind of cool. This looks like it's started to turn. Sometimes the glass will turn colors the older it is. And I don't know what product would have been in this one, but I've got tons of jars that I need to start moving. In here, Perini small food processor, Perini slow cooker, little coffee. This is kind of cool. Handy Andy old toolbox, and it was Handy Dandy tool set, genuine blue diamond tools, a product of Ski Craft Corporation, Chicago. and it actually still has a knife in it. I mean, a saw knife. It has a saw in it. So stuff like that I do pretty well. I have quite a few buyers that actually have antique shops and stuff. Here is a Hobby Model Mechanical. It's just the box, but just the fact that they used to sell products like this in boxes, and even the boxes, they've got dovetail in there, hinged, just a cool old piece. It'll make a nice display somewhere. And I got a couple of these Perini skillets. And there's my receipt. Okay. We're almost through the back of the truck. I don't know if you can hear me all the way back here. I have a couple of these lamps. One comes with a lampshade. Lamps are hit and miss for me. So there's my receipt. There's one thing I paid probably too much for at the auction. Oh, here's some more of the lamps. I do actually have the chimneys for all of these, but these are a little bit newer. But it's amazing how many of these, how many of the different lamps. This one's one name you want to look for is Aladdin. Aladdin are probably the most popular. This is Brisbane Manufacturing Company, Danbury, Connecticut. So that one's kind of cool. This one I don't see very many of this color, but it could just be because I haven't come across them. And that one is same thing, Risden Manufacturing Company, Danbury, Connecticut. And these are not turn of the century, like I said. Oh, this one is. Okay, here's an example. These both look the same, so they may be close in age. Or I'm wondering if they replaced the burner on it. Okay, so this is going to be, I'll show you real quick. I'll pull these burners out. When I'm talking about screwing in, here the threads are on the outside of the glass. Here the threads are on the inside. So this actually threads inside it like so. But it's amazing because both of these lamps look identical. So I wonder if it's and that burner can easily be repaired. But if you look, they're both pretty much identical. For me, not a ton of money in lamps, but they sell. And believe it or not, just north of here, there's a lot of people that still use them in the wintertime when power goes out. And this is why I haven't been doing a lot of these videos. Oh, here's another lot. It was a table ends, part of another. I mean, and it wasn't just this box. It was a couple of these boxes would have been on one table. There's looks like a Call of Duty. I don't know what this is. It's like the oh, that's still sealed. It looks like it. It's the feature is black. This must have been one of their promotional box sets. And this is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for the PlayStation. And it's the hardened edition. So one of their collector packs. Inside, along with this, there's this old Minolta XGM camera. What's this? Lavender chamomile bar of soap. So, you know, I'll take this. This is unused. I'll take this, mix it in with, on that table, some unused avocado oil face mask, deep cleansing wash off mask. There was also ultimate mask kit. I may actually send these to my daughter who's in the Navy. Another wash off mask. We send her kits. I was really interested in this. Now, for those of you that are faint in heart, I'll warn you, you might want to close your eyes. It is cabin porn. And yes, folks, it's just a lot of different pictures of different cabins. So I got a kick when I saw that. Cabin porn. What else? Some more books. There's Lord of the Flies, William Golding, Ivory, The Smuggled Tusk of Hidden GPS, a hidden GPS chip. I don't know what that's all about. Paper Airplane with Dollar Bills. Just some books, you know. God Save the Planet, Life of Pi. I think I saw that movie. What else? Some pretty smelling stuff. This is Daffodil, Cool Water, Eau de Toilette, Soul by Curve. You know, that'll probably go in the donation pile. I don't know what this was. Fine Paper and Soap. I got ripped off. There's no soap in the box. Anyway, and just some music CDs. I usually, when I come, Paul Simon, Pink Floyd, the Davidson Bell. I don't know if I've ever. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. Crush on You, Pink Floyd, the Division Bell. How can I be a Pink Floyd fan and not have heard that? There's Tom Petty. So, I have the Kinks at the BBC, Foster the People. I might have to put some of these in my truck for a while. There's The Byrds, Very Best Animals, Teddy Geiger, The Dead, Weather, Janis Joplin, Pearl, Led Zeppelin, Early Days, AC/DC, Stiff Upper Lip. I don't even know what that one is. It's the Rolling Stones, Donovan, somebody's personally made CD. Anyway, I'm going to have to play the Pink Floyd on the way home. Nothing spectacular about this. It's a brownstone mantle clock. 2 fishing box, tackle boxes. One of them actually had something in it, like a knife and something else. I have this Rebel Monogram, Dale Earnhardt, Bass Pro Shops, Monte Carlo kit. Steel sealed. It's got a little bit rough condition on the box, but it's steel sealed and packaged, so somebody's going to enjoy. I hauled grass to my truck and I never cleaned it out, so that's, well, this is going to have to be wiped down. There's Transformers. Transformers Unleashed, Transformers Turnarounds, and looks like Optimus Prime. So I think it's just a display piece. Okay, so got some more action figures. Make sure I'm still recording here. There's a lot of Spawn. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think there's a total 9 of them in all. But all these Spawn characters still in package, mid-90s. There's Spawn the movie. This little guy right here. So like I said, they're not going to be perfect. McFarlane toys, I've done okay on some McFarlane toys. Wetworks Mother 1. I've done okay on McFarlane toys that were out of package. There's a whole box of those there. I'm not going to go through each and every one. This is the sad thing. I think I actually have some decent cards in here, but this whole box fell on the ground. So whatever order there may have been in these cards, it is no longer, which is kind of sad, because like I had some that I paid a little bit more for, but oh, look at there's Captain Kirk in the Twilight Zone cards. I mean, there's a lot of football cards. I got some containers for cards. I have deck protectors, DECK, 1991 high number series football cards, steel sealed, 91 NFL cards. So I mean, I got a lot of cards here, and you know, a lot of people say there's no money in cards. There still is some. I don't pay, and I'm just gonna mess them up even more. That was a bad decision there, folks. I was actually looking for, there's Jeff Gordon oversized cards there, the Upper Deck Profiles Jeff Gordon set. Maybe I didn't turn the other ones, but there's Desert Storm cards. There's just a wide variety. Beyond the Czar. I don't even know what that Jim Warren's. Horn of Heaven. What is that? Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami. So a large box full of collector cards. I got this Star Wars Walker. I thought that was kind of cool. I paid a little bit more for him, but there's no reason, because it was bigger. I mean, someone had original price at $20 in their shop. I like King Kong. Someone had original price of $40 on that. Movie Maniacs 3. I don't know if you can see him very well. But it is a giant King Kong. Maybe I can put the, anyway. So this is more sports cards. This is the one I did not drop, which I'm glad, because in this set, I don't know why they were asking, they had these separated out. Field Force, Jerry Rice. There's a team leader, Emmitt Smith. Oh, some of these are graded. There's 2005 Bowman's Best. Reggie Brown, 10 mint or better in a hard case. 91 Upper Deck Herman Moore 10 mint or better, graded by the BCCG. 2000 Trung candidate high numbers, Trung candidate running back. So I guess it's because some of these are graded. There was, and I don't know, some of these others were all separated as well. I mean, the price on a lot of them were, there's hockey in there, football, rookie card, Adrian Peterson, Barry Porter, AJ Green. So a lot of them are there's a Wayne Gretzky 93, Wayne Gretzky 94. So, you know, some of them were graded, some of them weren't. Michael Irvin. Let's see, anybody else so anyway, I think I gave a quarter or 50 cents for these each. So I did pay more on these. Other ones I just bought because they're huge lots of cards, and there was a ton of them there. They're part of lots. 91 rookie quarterback, Dan McGuire. Anyway, enough of the cards. More of the baseball card fiasco I have to go through. The worst part about these is I have to now separate them back into some order. I don't know what order that's going to be, whether it's going to be sports, or I may just put them in a pile and say miscellaneous cards. Believe it or not, I am just about done. I've got a few more items, and then if you hang out this long, this is actually Spawn, more action figures. There's a Tron hat. I shouldn't probably be touching it. What year is that on? Disney. So it was later. But a Tron hat, brand new with tags, crease in the tag, but it's a light cycle, and it says Tron on the back, if you can see that. But in plastic. At first I didn't know what that was, and then when I said Tron, saw Tron, I realized, oh yeah, that's a light cycle in the front. Jeff Gordon piggy bank for all you racing fans out there. McFarlane Toys Vampire. So another whole box of these. There's a glass goblet, Marvel Comics, Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. I don't want to drop that if it's actually glass. But yeah, there's probably another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, probably 20, 15 or 20 of these left. There's X-Men Dice Masters. Oh, it's some kind of dice game. X-Men. So yeah, a whole box of action figures. Looks like primarily McFarlane Toys, Spawn, and a few others. Okay, antlers. I think I give about $20 for all these antlers. They're not in the greatest condition for display, but what actually people do is, I had somebody buy a pronghorn antelope and he actually turns pins out of them. But even if you're doing these on eBay, I mean, look at comps on eBay. This one's a little nastier because it actually has the, looks like part of the hide on it. I know that's kind of gross. But something they look for, if they're looking for them to do much in it, like this one here, outside of the knot in here, it's probably sat and got gnawed on by something, but uniformity, and that's basically how same number, same direction on the antlers on each side. It's a little bit more value on that. These are older ones. People use them, like I said, for crafts, for making things, whether it be knife handles, the guy that turns pins, or people also cut them up and use them as dog chew toys, because that's pretty popular around here. Okay, we're almost down to the end. I hope this doesn't mess up and you can actually hear me on this. But there's a couple of tennis rackets. I don't think there's anything overly exciting here. One's smaller. It's probably not a tennis racket. But there's a Tour Pro head. I don't know. Coho. What is that for? It's Coho Street. These are some knee pads, shin pads. Is that for street hockey? Some Easton gloves. Yeah, I think that's probably for hockey, maybe roller hockey. This old yoke turned into some kind of stand, whether it be a cane stand, it's got horseshoes, just a folk art piece, I guess, maybe, but horseshoe to hold. You could also probably use it for a rifle stand, umbrella stand, or what else? I don't know. It's still a cool piece. Looks like I'm going on just about an hour. I'm going to, I don't know if the light's going to adjust, but we're going to go through my mess. I just did. Let's see if I can flip that up. Nope. Okay, we're going to see if we can go through here. It's probably not going to have any light whatsoever. But I do have the 4 chairs still there. Let me see if I can turn on my interior lights. Yeah, it's not going to be able to show. But I actually have a large Craftsman toolkit. It looks like I do have one more box here before I unload the chairs. I may have 2 boxes. See, I lied. It's dark. I've been asking our landlord since I moved in to put some lights out there, and he has yet to do it because I work late hours, especially on auction night. Let's see what's in these last 2 boxes. Oh, more Spawn. Oh, there's Ghost action figure, exclusive Dark Horse comic book included. So more action figures. There's another 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 of them in here. There's a more Spawn. So there's Mendoza Wetworks. So yeah, more Spawn action figures. And last but not least, The 5-in-1 plant standing hanging basket combo with cocoa liners. New in box. Been talking about vintage there. I don't even see a year on it, but it sure looks old. From Misco. Originally $15.94, 5-in-1. Can be used as a double plant stand, 2 single plant stands, 2 hanging baskets, or single plant stand and 1 hanging basket. 2 natural cocoa fiber liners retain water while providing adequate drainage. Easy to assemble, no tools necessary. Contents: 2 baskets, 2 cocoa liners, 2 stands, 1 extender pole, and 2 hanging chains. Brought to you by Misco Home and Garden. Anyway, folks, I know I probably got off track, out of focus, out of frame, but just kind of giving you an idea of what my typical Friday is. And it's actually more than just Fridays. I actually do, this week we got caught up, we're had a state consigned with us. So we've been photographing over on location and bringing this stuff over and putting it on shelves. And I still have about a quarter of that left. And I think I still have to get the auction up tonight. Anyway, if you want to check out our catalog, it's Bidmore 2 Win, the number 2. So BIDMORE, number 2, WIN.com. Hit the current auction link there, and it'll take you to our active catalog. Auctions last Friday night till Wednesday. The first item closes at 6 p.m. Pacific, and every 10 seconds after that, the next item closes, and so on. We do soft closes, meaning if you get outbid within the last 3 minutes of the time of that item, it adds on another 3 items and continues to do so until someone gives up and the other person wins that item. But that's it. I know I haven't been around in a while. I've been slow to put out content, but I'm gonna let you go because I need to get home, get a shower. Well, it is the next day. I forgot I had to go back and get the rest of the stuff. So I'm finishing up the haul, wrapping it up with the stuff I went and picked up. Got this large composter on a stand. Let's see here. This wooden desk, it is missing hardware on this drawer, but I have furniture folks that they might be able to find this. People that redo furniture. Cedar chest. This one does need to be tightened. Some more trains down in there. Some old antique lamps. This is not turn of the century. I'm trying to feel. Anyway, I've got all the chimneys and everything for those here. Got this coat hook, handmade with railroad ties or iron nail spikes. This little old kid's desk. This old little TV tray here. Very small stool. Couple lamps, and let's see, those are 2 lamps. Flatware. I want to say this is silver plate. Nope, this is stainless. So it is. Looks like a full set. Sometimes what you want to look at on these two is sometimes. Oh, see, this is Roger Brothers, Rogers International Silver Company box. Sometimes these boxes are more than the flatware in it, so keep an eye on that. Oh, there's a basketball goal hoop over there. Not much value in that, but it'll go through the auction. And I got this little tool makeup bag. I'm gonna sit that down real quick so I can get that out. And it just had this old Jim Beam decanter. I don't do a lot with decanters, but I have sold them. We'll set him right there. Yep. See, that's what happens when you get all excited about something. I'll have to put that back together, maybe with a touch of glue. But Jim Beam, 100-month-old. And that's sad. I wasn't paying attention.
It looks like it had come off before. I've actually sold those little lanterns before, buggy lanterns, to the shop. So I think that was all glued. It wasn't, you can tell. But anyway, I'll probably touch it up with a little glue and put it to auction as well. So now that I've got the truck emptied, it is off to dump the gray water before I open the store. Many of you know that we do concessions as well, and the joys of owning a concession trailer is having to go dump the water. And this is one of the reasons I don't have a ton of time to put out videos, unfortunately. It seems like I'm always busy, but I thought I'd take you along for the ride. So let's go get that taken care of. Okay, well that was it. Now it's time for me to open the shop. I will catch y'all next time. Oh, and while I'm sitting here going 5 miles an hour, I forgot in that lot one more thing. It's a Sony DVD VHS recorder. So that is all of that haul.